Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As y'all can see by the title of today's video, ranking all the finishing badges in NBA 2K20 in tiers F through S. We're going to start from the bottom, go to the top. But real quick, before we get started with this video, I gotta explain. Things change, rearrange, and so do opinions, okay? So I just gotta get out of the way. You guys have seen this video twice in the past that I've uploaded if you're subscribed to me. Now, if you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy it as well if you're a sub. But again, I gotta explain. I've done this video twice in the past. My opinions have changed a little bit, and we have a new little format on this video too. So just understand there's a little bit new to this vid and this little format of my ranking badges and tiers list for all my subs who have seen all types of videos like this in the past. You know, we do the finishing, defense, shooting, playmaking. I've even ranked like the builds flat out in tiers, F through S and all that stuff. So again, just stick with me on this. We got a little bit of like difference and I can't really reveal it to the E tier. So if you're new to the channel, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, all that good stuff, turn on them noties. And for all my subs, if we could hit 500 likes in the first 24 hours on this video, I'd really appreciate that. Help me blow this video up in the recommended and all that stuff. But anyway, to get straight into this, like I said, I have a difference that I'll explain to you guys in the E tier. It's a small difference, but I just want you guys to keep that in mind. But anyway, to get into the F tier, obviously y'all can see by what's on the screen right now. Fast break finisher, showtime, and cross key score. Trash badges. They don't really require too much explanation, but I will, just for those who don't really know about these badges and like the lack of function that they have. So fast break finisher and showtime. So these two are supposed to boost your takeover and your teammates takeover, and they don't do either. Whether that be for 2v2, 3v3, you know, Team Pro-Am, Rec, even my league, Zion has this thing on Hall of Fame. Like Zion has Showtime on Hall of Fame, Fast Break Finisher on Gold, and neither of them help boost your takeover or your teammates takeover or anything like that. It's whack. And then cross key score, not really worth, you know, explaining in my opinion. I just feel like it's a trash badge. It doesn't really pertain to a lot of things, and I also don't really see anybody else use it. So again, as far as cross key score goes, super trash badge, and these two are literally like unusable in my opinion. Now, as far as my new addition, so you can see teardropper, I have it colored yellow. As far as like putback boss, pick and roller, they're purple, it matches the E tier. Pink, it matches, you know, the F tier. So yellow, obviously, as you can see, pertains to the B tier. Now, as far as like small slashers, big slashers, whatever it may be, I feel like teardropper's a pretty trash badge. There's really no need to like float over a defender when you can just contact dunk on them. So it doesn't make too much sense for that. But this is finishing badges. It's not exactly a slashers video. So as far as like an outside point guard, I feel like this badge right here with teardropper fits an outside point guard really well, and I feel like for an outside PG, it would fit into their B tier or something like that. So again, just understand what I'm doing with this video, things like Pro Touch or something like that. Pro Touch is a pretty trash slasher badge, but it's really good for post scores because it helps with the post hooks and greening them and just making your slightly earlys and slightly lates. So understand, I'm gonna have these color coded in a certain situation just to help explain my, you know, ranking on badges and stuff like that. So don't pay too much attention to this if you don't really enjoy that format. I'll just have my ranking list anyway. But anyway, to explain the other two badges, we got putback boss and pick and roller. In my opinion, putback boss, it's really just low because I feel like, you know, standing layups where you're going back up with it and it's a contested standing layup, it's never good. You guys know those pure rims who literally just grab a rebound, go right back up with it, grab another rebound, go right back up with it. There's a reason you're still going up with it. It's the fact that you're missing it. And in my opinion, putback boss is just trash because, like I said, contested standing layups, they are really bad and they rarely go in, no matter what this badge is doing for you with the boost of that. Again, contested standing layups are just not that good. And if you're going to put this back in on wide open, what's the point of the badge? And I do understand if you have it on bronze, it enables putback dunks. You rarely see putback dunks this year, probably just because of that, how you need putback boss to do so. But anyway, as far as pick and roller goes, a lot of y'all know I'm really big on the slips around here. And like, you know, the fact of the matter is pick and roller doesn't boost your shot making ability or your pick and roll speed or anything like that. And if it did boost your shot making ability off of a slip rather than like you have to hit somebody with a screen for it to activate, then I would say pick and roller is a lot more useful. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of this like E tier, F tier, because every time I do this video, they're all so similar and they're literally the same exact thing. Now, here's where we got a little bit of a difference. So a lot of people mistake these two badges for each other, in my opinion, where, you know, they pertain deep hooks to like making hook shots no matter how close or how far the shot actually is. This is just your range extender essentially of hook shots. This right here is literally like, you know, your shot making ability boost. So when it comes to post hooks and post scores, Pro Touch in my opinion is an A tier badge. Now, just from a broad point of view and just what this badge does for like almost everybody except for post scores, I feel like it's a D tier badge. It's not a very good thing to put as a slasher, like slasher, but as far as the finishing badges, that's why this video gets so complicated, because it's finishing badges, which you would think pertains to slashers, but there's a lot of things like teardropper that I feel like fit outside point guards better, or for post scores, pro touch is like one of their go-to badges. But again, I just feel like as far as the slashers just in general go, pro touch not that important. I feel like the good timing on layups, it's all BS. I feel like with the shot meter on, it doesn't even let you time your layups properly. I feel like you get a late or very early. Let me know if I'm the only one in this whole game that only gets like lates, earlies, or very early on their layups. I just don't understand why I can't ever get a slightly late or slightly early. I feel like the game is literally fixed to where if you have your shot meter on, it doesn't even let you get anything better than those timings, but that might just be me. Anyway, as far as deep hooks goes, I feel like this badge can be a little bit overrated. For the 1v1 court, I sort of understand, but when it comes to like, say 2v2 or stuff like that, I feel like it should be pretty easy to get positioning in the post, and to have to take deep hooks is kind of just, you're already at a disadvantage the further away you are from the hoop. Close range fades, close range hooks are super cake, and for my experience, it seems pretty easy to just back people down and just get deeper into the post. So I would not settle for deep hooks in the first place, and I just feel like for what this badge allows you to do, it doesn't really even help you make deep hooks all that much anyway. So anyway, moving along to the C tier, we have a couple of sets of badges. We'll start with the ones that I feel like belong in the C tier. So we got Acrobat and Lob City Finisher. Now, I'll start with Lob Finisher. In my opinion, this is a really good badge when it comes to like, you know, as far as if you're a true inside big man. If you're like, say, a driving guard or something like that, or like a spot up in the corner, I feel like this isn't that important. If you have the right spacing in Team Pro-Am and stuff like that, then yes, Lob City Finisher becomes that much more important when you're a corner spot up. But I just want to kind of stress this right now. I feel like alley-oops, whether it be throwing them, finishing them, whatever you want to call it, that is a good, efficient function in this game. But when it comes to the badge itself, it's not all that needed, especially if it's wide open ones like on back doors and stuff. What this badge allows you to do is make the contested ones. And, you know, as an inside big man, you definitely need it. That's the thing that I would value it with the most. Now, I gotta say, for even me who fits that situation of an inside big man, lobs are more meant for beating hedge defense. So when you set a pick, your guard tries to get open off of it, and then the big man who's guarding you tries to go step up to your guard. It's more meant for you being able to beat him with that. Now, that is the time where Lob City Finisher comes into play, because I feel like it helps you make like late contested alley-oops, but this badge is not going to help you just slam it over a dude's head while he's just camping in the paint. I feel like that is just a function in the game that doesn't work all that well, and I like what 2K has done with lobs. They're very realistic in this year's game, where you can't really just force it in, and like, you know, a lot of people get mad when it comes to the like the Puma stuff, right? Or like the ×4 rep, because they'll get so mad at dudes for camping paint and stopping lobs, because it works like that. You can't just like, you know, you can't force this badge. I'm gonna put it like that. So that's what keeps it in the C tier for me. Acrobat, really good badge when it comes to the small slashers, especially with like hop dunks and stuff like that, for making your hop layups when you can't get the dunk off, and that's what it's big time for in my opinion. Now, Euros and like stuff like that have become less and less, you know, useful and valuable, so that's what's made this badge a little bit less valuable. So again, they both kind of belong in the C tier in my opinion. And then we have badges like Drop Stepper, which pertain to the bigs. Obviously, just in general, I'm gonna keep it in the C, but for like a post score, like specifically, I'd put this in the B, maybe the A, but I just feel like drop steps aren't really the most effective thing. You can counter it by just pogo stick jumping, and once somebody does a drop step, you've picked up your dribble, you're gonna go up now. So once you just keep on pogo sticking, you can't really do much about it as far as the offensive player goes. Again, I feel like things like back down punisher I have higher on the list, but drop stepper, not the best post score badge in my opinion. Now, as far as Giant Slayer goes, I'm not going to sit here and say this is a must-have badge, but if you are below 6'5", it's a great one to have if you're a small slasher, or especially like an outside point guard with like 10 finishing badges because you went with the PLAYSHARP build and decided to go no defense and you just have a lot of finishing badges. Giant Slayer is pretty big time, helps you avoid getting blocked, and as y'all saw in the video from yesterday, the 6'5" Pure Lock, I had gold Giant Slayer on, and it's big time for getting more contact dunks on dudes like that too. But again, the only reason I have it in the C tier is just because in general, when it comes to the 7'3" posts or like the taller slashers and stuff like that, it just weighs it down. And this is just an in general tier list. It's not exactly like for my build specifically or for a 6'5" build specifically. It's just, again, we're kind of just weighing the effectiveness of badges straight up just from a broad standpoint, and then like I said, the color coding kind of specifies it a little bit better. And I just felt like this would be a better way to bring this video to you guys. So to speak on another badge that belongs in the A tier under a certain situation, we got Back Down Punisher. Obviously for post scores, you're going to value this badge pretty highly. I will say though, I might have overrated it just a little bit from a broad point of view, because the only people that are going to be trying to use this are obviously post scores or taller slashers that are trying to take advantage of a switch or something like that. But again, it's a really good effective badge in that situation. Really good for taking it, like, you know, backing it down on people with high strength as well. It's really tough to move people around that have high strength unless you have this badge. It's kind of just an additional strength rating when it comes to like pushing people down. So anyway, these two badges right here, Relentless Finisher and Consistent Finisher, I consider these to be the glue badges. I never take them off bronze. I would recommend to have them on bronze no matter what your build is. Obviously this one helps you finish with fatigue, and this one helps you finish the bad timings on your layups and stuff like that. Again, I don't find them to be all that, you know, overpowered when it comes to using them on Hall of Fame. Like something like Back Down Punisher, you're either going to go with none or Hall of Fame, one of the two, or maybe even gold if it fits in your budget, if it doesn't really fit in your budget all that well. But again, you get the deal. With these, I would recommend to never take them off bronze. I just feel like I said, they're really good glue badges, and you want them no matter what your build is, but you don't really need it to be too high. Now, these top three, matter of fact, I'll just reveal all three of them at once because they're all big time slasher badges. So, for the slashers, obviously Fancy Footwork, Slithery Finisher, and Contact Finisher are big time, the big trio of the three badges you're going to use no matter what. And obviously this pertains to all types of slashers, small, big. I would even say honestly like outside point guards even use these three badges. Slithery's a big time one. I will say I don't really know if post scorers use these two badges all that much. If you're a smaller finisher, I would probably say you would not smaller finisher, but you get what I'm saying, like a 6'10 like post scorer or something like that went with like all finishing pie chart. Obviously you're going to use Fancy, but I'm saying like a 7'3". I don't really know if they use Fancy all that much, but it could probably still be effective. I would say the only reason this badge is so effective is because of long athlete though, which you need 70 driving layup for. But Slithery Finisher helps with the reverse dunks, helps with all types of stuff, just sliding past people. I would like to say I put this badge on early in the year. I would say I think I did it like 5.5 months ago or something like that, but big time badge. Super important as far as just any type of slashing. And then Contact Finisher is pretty self-explanatory, helps with the contact dunks. Obviously, you know, this is one of the most important badges when it comes down to it, no matter who you are, if you're a finisher. And then obviously Contact Finisher helps with the contact dunks. It's pretty self-explanatory. This is a big time badge no matter who you are. Outside point guard, small driving slasher, you know, medium sized slasher like a 6'9". Even for post scores, it's super important with the contested layups and stuff like that, or even just for getting standing contact dunks over people. Big time badge, obviously the most important one when it comes to slashing, and obviously contact dunks are the biggest part of a slasher's game, and you gotta have this badge. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff. And y'all know the deal. Feel free to leave any feedback. Tell me where you put some of these badges. And a good one would be an example, Pro Touch. Tell me where you would put Pro Touch, but then tell me where you would put Pro Touch specifically for a post score. So put Pro Touch wherever you would rank it, and then tell me what color you'd put it for specifically post scores. If that flew over your guys' head and you didn't understand that theme to this video, I just won't do it again. But let me know if you guys enjoyed that as well, the fact that I like color coded these things differently. As far as like say Teardropper, it's a trash badge, but it fits outside point guards pretty decently. Let me know what y'all thought of that little kind of aspect in addition to the video. But anyway, like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, turn on them noties, all that good stuff like always. And if you made it to the very end of the video, put finishing in the comments to show your support that you made it all the way through. Anyway, other than that, hope y'all enjoyed. Take it easy, man. Peace.